What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol ASAN for Asana Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, I need to let you know they gave us an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's flip on the extended hours session and see what's going on with the numbers. So without even zooming in, I'm sure you could have seen that. Quite a nasty move to the downside. It's very likely that we'll open on a gap down, so what we're about to discuss is a framework for navigating that gap. Do remember that a lot can happen, a lot can change between now and 9:30, so please adjust these levels accordingly. We want to know where the overnight low is, currently at 75 even. Let's call the opening print here around 77.57, just for sort of forecasting sake. We also want to know where the low of today's session was for the gap close. Let's turn that back off and focus over on the daily time frame chart to make this a little bit cleaner to look at and understand. First thing we always think about whenever we're dealing with a gap, so scenario number one is always the gap and trap, and what that looks like would be opening here, failing to attract new sellers under the overnight low, trading long through the open for a move to fill the gap up towards $88.88, essentially today's low of day. Now, based on the magnitude of the gap and the average range here inside of Asana, let's look at this day. Like, this is a $13 range here. I would say an average day is maybe 10 on a good day. This one is $8.50. This one is $8.50. This day here is $9. This range is about 11. So maybe it does fill the full gap all in one day, but just to be conservative, right? Let's find the half gap together. So coming in with the fibs doing something like this, you can see that the half gap is going to be around $83.25. We'll throw it on, and basically all this is going to do is give us a halfway point where, if this does pan out, you get long here. First target would be here. So take off some of the position, hold the rest, see if we can make it to here, then monitor for continuation higher. Of course, that's the trail stop once you've actually hit that ultimate target of the gap close. So that's the long-sided trade on the gap and trap. The scenario number two, of course, would be the gap and go, the trade for lower. So that's if we open here, put in bearish consolidation or some sort of bearish pattern, could be a descending triangle, basically a breakdown of the overnight low, which is currently 75 even, takes us into the next daily support. So let's find that together. I'll put this back to auto. Scrunch up the chart, and what do we have underneath us? Notice that the chart was really just kind of chugging along in this section. We have support at 72.15. Underneath that, we have support here from the prior breakout point, some of these hammers at 69.19. Then the next major one would be here around $63.27. So it's going to be a lot harder for the stock to move lower, noting that we had this huge demand zone that we're kind of gapping down into. We also have the daily 200 SMA. That's the green line coming right in here as well. So again, it's going to make the downside trade much harder to pull off. It will not happen as smoothly in my estimation as opposed to the upside trade, which we talked about at first. So are you actually even going to short this thing? Let's come on over to the trade tab. It is an easy to borrow stock, which is always a pleasant surprise. And the put contracts, not the most attractive in terms of volume here. Maybe that changes with the sort of increased attention it will get on tomorrow's session with the gap down. So just keep an eye on it. About a 30-cent spread here on the at the money options. Again, really weak volume though. Might not be the best thing to look for. Probably just short shares here inside of Asana. So that's really going to wrap up the video. It all comes down to gap and trap or gap and go, and we have the levels to be watching for. If you enjoyed today's video or learned anything new, let me know in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.